Hey everybody, welcome to Money's No Object. I'm your host, Dylan Howell. This is episode number 147 of our YouTube channel and podcast, and I cannot be more excited to continue sharing with you guys personal finance topics that I think can be useful for you in your long-term financial journey. Today we are going to be talking about the effects of luck and the effects of hard work in your financial life. And which can you attribute it to? Can you attribute it to both? Can you attribute it a lot more to one than the other, or exclusively to one or the other? We will discuss that in today's episode, and it will help you to get a better mindset about what is actually causing financial success, or what is actually leading to your lack of success financially, and whether or not it is within your control or not within your control. And so we will talk about that in today's episode, and hopefully you can gain a lot from that and hopefully be empowered to do the things that you can control doing. But before we get started, if you could go down below, hit the big red subscribe button, like this video, leave me any feedback in the comments down below, and I'll be sure to respond to anything you leave down there. If you're listening on Apple or Spotify podcasts, then be sure to subscribe and leave me a review on either one of those platforms. That would be greatly appreciated. Follow me on social media at MNO with Dylan, and that's really good supplemental materials to all the things I'm putting out in these long form episodes on YouTube and the podcast every single day. And then if you need somebody to help you to stay accountable to a financial plan, create a financial plan for you that is uniquely suited to yours and your family's needs, then I can help you to do that. Just go to my website, www.MNOwithDylan.com. Click on the Work with Dylan tab, and you can choose the financial coaching session type that would work best for you, and we can begin pushing towards your long-term financial goals together. Now, every day on this show, I am trying to empower you to do things financially that I believe can put you in the best position possible for your long-term financial success and your ability to reach long-term financial freedom. And I believe that each of the things that I want you to do, they require you to do something, right? They require you to act. They require action from you. That's why I call the plan that I want you to work the financial action plan, because it requires action from you. And anything that requires action from you is some type of work. It is requiring you to work, to practice, to do something, right? And so obviously, what do I believe when it comes to the impact of hard work on your personal financial success? I believe that hard work has an obvious impact, right? It has a real, obvious, huge impact on your ability to win financially. And obviously, just about anything that we do in our lives is going to require that we take action in order to do it. So for instance, if you want to become a great athlete, you have to, take more shots than anybody else. You have to swing the club more times than anybody else. You have to swing the bat or throw the ball more times than anybody else. And you have to practice at your craft. You have to learn what is best. You have to be a continual learner in whatever field you are trying to succeed in. And the same thing goes for our workplaces, right? If you want to be the best programmer or developer out there, then what are you going to have to do? You're going to have to be consistently writing code, learning new things about computers, about systems, about different languages that you can write code and develop new things in. And so you have to be a consistent learner in your field as well. And that takes work. That takes you making some concerted effort. It takes your action in order to be good at whatever it is. Now, are there people who are uniquely suited for things? Yes, of course, there are people who are uniquely suited for specific things. And I don't know if I would call that necessarily luck. Some of it is, how your parents raised you and the environment in which you were raised. And I guess you cannot control the environment in which you were raised. So you were lucky to be raised in a certain environment to get a certain set of skills and be raised by certain parents and go to certain schools and things like that to get a certain set of skills. So that is chance or luck, right? That you had a certain opportunity from the get-go. Undoubtedly, different people have different opportunities. Different people have different starting lines. It is just the way it is. But the truth of the matter is no matter what your starting line is, you can make substantial headway and get to a place of financial success or career success or academic success or whatever it may be, because people have done it. People have gone from nothing to being able to be successful in whatever they set their mind to do. Now, are there more hurdles for some people than others? Obviously, right? Some people have more hoops to jump through than others. And that is the difficulty. But in this country, in this great country, right, we have the ability to make a decision and take an opportunity and run with that opportunity and get the best education possible and get the best job possible and work hard in order to get certain places that may not have been easy to get, but you can work hard to get there. Now, again, does everything require some luck? Yes, the right opportunities at the right time. It's going to be hard to say that was your doing. That is some chance or some luck or some type of divine intervention that's stepping in and is making a way for you and providing you with whatever blessing that may be in your life. And so those things can obviously occur, and we like when we get lucky, right? We like when we are doing things in life and we are working towards a particular goal and things actually work out. And there's this quote that is attributed to Thomas Jefferson that says, "I'm a great believer in luck. The harder I work, the more luck I have." And I think this is directly speaking to the idea of when you are working hard, you are creating more opportunity for yourself. You're either becoming really good at something and you have much more marketable skills, or you're becoming well versed in something that broadens your horizons, and so you have more opportunities, and so you can become luckier because you have more opportunity to have good luck, right? And for good things to occur. And so what do we believe when it comes to our finances, right? Do we believe that we can be lucky in our finances? Well, of course you can be lucky in your finances. And some people are very lucky in their financial lives, and some people are not very lucky. And believe it or not, I bake the idea of chance or luck into the financial action plan, and I will explain to you how. But first, I want to talk just a little bit more about this idea of luck. I read a book recently that's been out for a while now by Malcolm Gladwell called Outliers. And he talks about how certain successful individuals have certain luck that they can take the opportunities that they have and make it into this uber successful life or career or whatever it may be. And so here there's an excerpt from a Wall Street Journal article about the book Outliers that I want to read to you guys. That way you can get a better idea of what the book is about and what it says, what Malcolm Gladwell says about luck and what he says about hard work. Success seems to stem as much from context as from personal attributes. Intrinsic ability appears to be necessary but not sufficient for exceptional achievement. It also helps to be born at the right time, like the 1830s for titans of industry, the 1950s for computer whizzes, and in the right home environment with the right cultural heritage. But elements of success are not all matters of happenstance and talent. Hard work is essential too, as even Mozart discovered. And so here he says, yes, happenstance or luck or chance and talent, right? Innate talent that you have, that you bring to the table because you were born good at something, right? Is part of it. But obviously hard work or practicing a skill, and within Outliers he talks about the 10,000 hour rule, right? To be a master at anything, it takes 10,000 hours of practice, which is an outstanding amount of time. But it takes hard work. It takes you putting your nose down and deciding that you're going to work hard at something. Then he continues, consider the success stories of technology entrepreneurs Bill Gates and Sun Microsystems founder Bill Joy. While most biographies of these men focus on their exceptional individual qualities, their innate intelligence, their fierce determination, there is a more nuanced analysis, emphasizing the range of opportunities to which each man was exposed. Mr. Gates, for example, attended an elite Seattle private school that, thanks to the proceeds of a parents' group rummage sale, installed a computer terminal in 1968. And that was state of the art at the time. And Mr. Gates tells Malcolm Gladwell that it was an amazing thing. He says that he and his friends were drawn to the computer, which was kept in a funny little room that subsequently they took control of. And so they had these opportunities, these strokes of luck, right? Being in these private schools, or having the ability to have access to some of the first home computers and learn to write code and things of the like. But obviously, Bill had to have an interest. He had to have some type of innate talent, and he had to work hard at learning how to do what he did so well. And he worked extremely hard. If you've ever read anything about Bill Gates, he worked his fingers to the bone, almost literally. And so this little excerpt of this Wall Street Journal article just really gives you an idea of what Outliers is about. And it makes clear what I believe about what we have going in life, in money, whatever it may be. There are opportunities. We all have opportunities. But we are also all obligated to work hard in order to get to somewhere worth getting, right? If you want to be a billionaire, right, like Bill Gates, then billionaires don't get made by just, being good at something, right? Or just having some innate ability. And they're not just, saying, oh, well, I'm just smart, right? I'm just naturally smart. I don't work at anything. I don't try hard. Obviously, that is not the case. And in the same way, athletes, right? You can't tell me that Mike Trout doesn't work really hard. For those of you who don't know who Mike Trout is, probably the best baseball player on the face of the planet. But you can't tell me that Mike Trout doesn't work hard. Yes, he has some natural ability and some natural talent and a build that he was, given the opportunity to work with, right? He's a 6'2", 6'3", 240-pound man that can run fast. But you cannot say that he doesn't work hard, because without the work, right, he would never get to the point where he's making millions and millions of dollars a year. It just would not have been possible. So yes, there is this idea of luck, right? And taking advantage of the luck and the opportunities that you have is extremely important, right? Taking advantage of when you have this stroke of luck is huge. But once you take advantage of it, you must work hard. You must make a concerted effort and do the things the right way in order to get to where you want to get. And guess what? With your money, being successful with your money, it is absolutely no different. And so let's talk about why. So with our money, there are things that we can get lucky with, right? If you don't have some type of emergency or tragedy or something in your life that is extremely costly that you cannot control, that's lucky, right? It is lucky if you can go, 10 years and not have some type of big emergency that is really costly. That is lucky, right? It is lucky if your, heat and air doesn't go out at some point on the home that you own, right? It is lucky if your, car doesn't blow its transmission out at some point. It is lucky, right? If some of these things are to occur. And these costly things not occurring is going to be more beneficial for you financially, obviously, right? But even more than that, it is lucky if you had an opportunity to get some type of head start, right? If your parents, they made the right decisions and they paid for your college. That is lucky for you because you don't have student loan debt. You were likely able to be taught certain financial principles to get a good head start and know how to manage your finances properly as you move forward in life. That is lucky. And some people don't have that luck. And again, there are different hurdles and different things that people have to get over, right? There are things that people have to work through. And it's not easy. I'm not saying that it's easy. But there is luck involved with some things, right? With your finances as well. When you are investing, there is a fair amount of luck involved, right? You can invest in the right things, but at the wrong time. So, for instance, the lost decade, they call it, right? So let's say you were out of college in January of 2000, right? And you had your first job and you were going to start saving in your 401k. You were going to start putting money away in your 401k for your future. And you're trying to do all the right things. You're trying to save all these things. Well, they call 2000 to 2010 the lost decade. Why do they call it the lost decade? Because the rate of return in the S&P 500 over that period was basically zero. And that is super uncommon with a 10-year period, but that 10-year period had two large crashes of the S&P 500 that really dragged down returns to basically zero. And so they call it the lost decade, because if you were investing during that time, you didn't make any money, right? You were just putting contributions in and didn't make any money. And it is lucky to make good returns, right? It is lucky if you're putting money away in the S&P 500 and you are able to make better returns than your counterparts because of when you began, right? So that is lucky over time, and that's not something that you can control. But what can you control, right? We have to still put the money away, right? We still have to make the contributions. We still have to save money. We still have to have enough margin in our budget and create a budget and live below our means in order to be able to invest and put money away. So it is a conscious effort. It requires our hard work. And obviously, the studies have shown that your ability to build wealth over the long term is far less reliant on rate of return than it is on the amount of money that you put in, the contributions you actually made to the accounts. And so you can see in that particular situation that the hard work outweighs the luck. And that happens in many, many cases, because you can, go years and years and not have an emergency and be real lucky in that way. But if you aren't doing the correct things financially along the way to take advantage of not having that emergency, then you are squandering an opportunity. You're squandering your own luck. And that's what we don't want to do. We don't want to squander our own luck. We want to take the opportunities, take the luck that we have, and use that, right? And work hard at whatever it is we are doing. So whether we are, trying to get out of debt, work hard at that, right? If you don't have any emergencies while you're getting out of debt, that is huge, because you have more cash flow to throw at your debt. Or while you're building an emergency fund, you have more cash flow to throw at your emergency fund. And then if you don't have an emergency while you are saving or investing for the future, then you can continue to save and invest for the future without bumps in the road along the way. And most people do have bumps in the road, but you can get lucky. That is a particular place in our financial life in which we can get lucky. And maybe even you coming across this show, right, could be a stroke of luck. It could be the algorithm on YouTube or your podcast site or whatever. It allowed you to get lucky, and you came across this podcast and can learn things about your finances and implement them into your own life, hopefully, right? And so you have all these things that can be lucky, but if you don't do anything about the luck, then it was all a waste. I mean, think about individuals who win the lottery, right? They win the lottery, and typically the money gets blown, right? Lottery winners aren't well known for their good money management habits. And they got lucky and won the lottery, but they did not do the hard work of learning how to manage all of the money that they got really, really quick. And so many of them squander it quite quickly. And so that is a place that you can say, obviously, yes, luck was involved. Luck was the key, because the odds to win the lottery are absolutely crazy, right? And I don't think any of you should be buying lottery tickets anytime soon or ever, right? But those individuals still have to work at it. They still have to work at doing the right things financially. For instance, right, you can go to work every day, work hard to make the income that you make, right? Or let's say your boss, comes in one day and they're like, we're going to give raises. Well, you got lucky and got a raise, right? But if you don't use that raise for the right thing financially, if you go and blow it at a store or do whatever, when you know that's not the right thing to be doing with that money, then you squandered the opportunity to be successful with money because you did not work hard and work in the right order and do the right things with what you were given. So the luck was squandered. So quite clearly, as we can see, the ability to build wealth and be financially successful is not just a direct function of luck, right? Yes, people need opportunities, right? You need an opportunity to be financially successful. You need an opportunity to do things financially, but you can work hard to get to a certain place. And I'm trying to give you the motivation in order to do so. If you feel like you're stuck in a rut, or you feel like you can't, right? Or you're just waiting for the next stroke of luck to come along, right? Take what Thomas Jefferson said. He tends to get a lot luckier when he is working a lot harder. So try to work hard. Try to do the most that you can to further yourself, further maybe your knowledge, your education, the number of hours that you're working. Work real hard, learn new skills, do new things, work real hard on getting your debts paid off and building emergency funds and things like that. and you will find strokes of luck along the way. And I can just give you a quick example of how this works, and just tell you from my own experience how luck can play a part and can help you out financially if you're doing some of the right things. So, for instance, in the year 2019, my wife and I did not withhold enough money from her check for taxes, and that turned into a tax bill for us, right? In 2020, it turned into a good little tax bill for us in 2020, a nice little gift from the IRS that says, hey, you owe XYZ in taxes. And so we were like, okay, we could pay it. That's fine. Whatever, we could pay the taxes. It was not going to be an issue. But right around the time that we had to pay those taxes, what was also happening in 2020? We got the first stimulus checks that we got. And so we were doing all the right things financially, right? We just made a misjudgment. We didn't make sure that the right amount of taxes were being taken out, and then you have to pay for that on the back end. But we were trying to do all the right things financially. But then we had a stroke of luck with a stimulus check coming. So guess what a portion of our stimulus checks went to? It went to paying those taxes. And so we took advantage of the luck of the stimulus check and didn't just go and spend it on all types of things and blow it and do whatever. We took it and we put it to work in the place that we needed the help at the time, that we needed to take advantage of at the time. And I'm not saying that every time that you have a bill due that money's just going to show up, because that's not the case, right? You're not that lucky, and neither am I. But you can rest assured that if you are doing all of the right things and you continue to do all of the right things and push and work, and it may not be in the form of a stimulus check, but it may be in the form of a bonus, or it may be in the form of more hours offered at your work, or whatever it may be, that you need to take care of a certain expense or do something in order to get yourself in the right place. And maybe it's a new job opportunity or something of the like. And there will be luck involved, right? There can be luck involved. But if you don't take advantage, if you don't work hard, if you don't do the right things with the opportunities, with the luck, then you can miss out on a lot. Because I think that a lot of people get lucky or have opportunities. Maybe getting lucky is not just all that it is, but it's having chances or getting these choice opportunities. But they blow the choice opportunities because they don't believe that they can. They don't believe that they have the ability to succeed. They don't believe they don't have hope, right? They don't have hope that they can succeed. But if you are constantly working, right, and keeping your head down and doing the right things, when the opportunities arise, you are going to keep working through the opportunity, right? And you're going to work hard within the opportunity. But if you're not flexing that work hard muscle and then an opportunity comes along, then who's to say that you're going to actually take it and take it for everything that it's worth? So be working hard, especially when it comes to you learning new things about personal finance, or learning new things about investments, or getting out of debt, or building emergency funds. It requires work. It requires you to put your head down and really, really work hard and have a plan and have a system that I help provide for you. That is the financial action plan, meaning you have to take action and use that plan in order to walk through the steps and really keep your head down on those things. And luck will play a part. Luck will come into the picture. But your long-term financial success is not about you getting lucky. It is about you deciding to have a plan, right? It's about you deciding that you want to do a certain thing, and then you may get lucky and have opportunities along the way that can push that forward, push that success forward. And you could also have bad luck, right? I haven't talked a lot about that in this episode, right? But some people are going to have tragedies that other people don't have, right? Some people are going to have situations where a family member gets sick, a child gets sick. It's extremely costly, right? Some people are going to have situations where natural disasters, tear their homes apart and their vehicles apart and all these types of things, and really set them back in that way. Some people are just going to have terrible things occur. They're going to have cancer. They're going to any number of things that could occur that could be negative. They can have those things that are bad luck as well. And so, yes, those types of things can weigh on you, right? Or you can get laid off from your job. You have no control over that. But you can keep working. You can keep looking for the next opportunity, the next stroke of good luck, right? Control what you can control. I've talked about this before. If we are not controlling what we can control, then how can we expect to move forward, right? If what we can't control isn't working for us, then the only thing that can work for us is what we can control. Control the things you can and work in a positive direction, and you will be better off for it. I'm not saying that you're going to be 100% successful. I'm not saying that luck's going to be around every corner. I'm not saying that you won't have bad luck. You won't have tough things come along, right? Tough things will come along. But that's why we build up our plan in the way that we do. That's why we have emergency funds in place. That's why we want you out of debt. So when costly, bad things come along, you can have some buffer between yourself and life. You can have the ability to pay those things and not go deeply into debt and not be financially distressed by the fact that you have some new bills to pay that you did not expect. So that's why I build the plan out the way that I do, because I just want us to control what we can control. I can't build a financial plan based on your luck. I cannot build a financial plan based on things that I do not know will occur or can occur. But I do know that you can make a budget. I do know that you can work to save up an emergency fund. I do know that you can work to get out of the debt situation that you are in one way or the other. I do know that you can save money for your retirement accounts, your kids' college, all of those things once you get out of debt. I do know that you can pay off your house one day, and I do know that you can be extremely generous all the way through. And knowing that, that's why I build out the financial plan in the way that I do. But the luck can accelerate that, and bad luck can slow it down, right? I cannot control the amount of luck or tragedy you are going to have in your life. But if you work the plan and do the steps as I have laid them out for you, then we can diminish the impact of the bad luck, and we can really maximize the opportunities or chances that good luck brings, and be able to push our financial lives forward in ways that we never thought possible. So just keep this in mind and know that people who are wealthy aren't just lucky and they aren't just hardworking. There is a bit of both, but you still have to understand that even if you are not the luckiest individual or you have bad things to occur, you can still be financially free. You can still create some level of financial success and still be a good manager of the money that you have been blessed with. So thanks for watching this video. If you could go down below, hit the big red subscribe button, like this video, leave me any feedback in the comments down below if you haven't done so already, and I'll be sure to respond to anything you leave down there. If you're listening on Apple or Spotify podcasts, be sure to subscribe and leave a review on either one of those platforms. That would be greatly appreciated. And then follow me on social media at MNO with Dylan. And that's really good supplemental materials to all the things I'm putting out in these long form YouTube and podcast episodes every single day. And then if you need me to build a financial plan that is specific to yours and your family's situation and help you to, get an emergency fund, pay off debt, start your investment process, whatever it may be, I can help you to do that. Just go to my website, www.mnowithdylan.com. Click on the Work with Dylan tab, and you can choose the financial coaching session type that would work best for you, and we can begin pushing towards your long-term financial goals together. So tune in tomorrow as I talk about using the skills that you have to do the most good and being able to translate those skills into some type of financial benefit. So thanks for tuning into this episode of Money's No Object. I'm your host, Dylan Howell. God bless.